Hello everyone and welcome back to Mech Engineers for our second episode in the First Taste mini-series. First and foremost, I want to give a big thank you for the very warm welcome the first episode received and all of the incredibly kind comments I got off that one. Thank you so much for massaging those buttons. Saint Algorithmus definitely took notice, and hopefully that can continue and we may well see this become a full series on the channel. So once again, thank you so much for that. Now, in the first episode, we covered the first day, and only the first day. We went into some depth over covering the ins and outs of the basic features and the mechanics of the system, so we wouldn't have to dwell on those so much moving forward. So hopefully, as we go through the series, we will pass more days with each consecutive episode, because we will have laid the groundwork to make moving forward a little bit easier. And on that note, the first thing we're going to do in this episode is go through the checklist that we've already established in the first. So we're going to start off with the calendar. Now, at the end of the last episode, we actually passed the date to Tuesday, and you can do a quick recap over what that entailed, and we got 3 engineers and 5 scientists, which is very much welcomed. Now, tomorrow we are going to finish unlocking the tank gun, and we will get the prototype of the tank gun as well, and then on Friday we will finish production of our 2 crates of components, which is a total of 250, as it's 125 components with each crate, and we'll also finish the work on the IC engine upgrades and getting a new prototype motor for our mech. So we've got some things to look forward to in the next couple of days. Now, normally the next step would be to upgrade the city, but as I mentioned in the first episode, we burnt through all of the components that we started with upgrading section 56, the district 56, and that is a big one for us, because that has allowed us the possibility of having enough components by the time that we get to like the 5th day, because again, from what I understand, you only bank up to 5 days worth of upgrades, and then you just start losing the upgrade opportunities. So we will now get our components before we start throwing away upgrade chances, which is extremely important. You don't really want to be wasting any time if you can manage not to. So that's all well and good. The next step, though, on our to-do list is to tune our mechs and go on a mission. So, with that in mind, let's have a look at some of the mission opportunities for us. I believe that when you do a mission, you reveal information of all of the tiles around, and if we go for this tile down here, we're going to reveal information on these 2 cities. But let's just have a quick look around. We've got 32 degrees here, Oparius, we've got, I think this is called an Ares. Let's have a quick look at the bestiary. Wrong page. Yes, Ares. This one is a bit of a rough one, as it's got high armor, reasonable health, and it rams the mechs and can stun them. So it's not really something we would want to go and play with. And my recommendation is, in the very early couple of missions, don't bother going for anything that has got more than the basic enemy. There's usually not a need to. Obviously, you might find yourself in a position where you can't do anything but, and at that point, maybe you're going to have to. Ares over here as well, but down here, thankfully, we have got minus 30 degree temperature, and just Operarius, though it should also have some Brucus as well. I think most of them do. So let's have a quick look at the bestiary once again. So the Operarius morphology covers the general, it's kind of fluff about the creature. Biology has a mixture of fluff and useful information, but is also definitely where you want to look for how they're going to attack and details on that. It's actually quite an important one. I believe most creatures have some type of resistance, and Operarius, for example, takes significantly less damage from energy type weapon projectiles. Not something that we really need to worry about. Ares, for example, takes less damage from kinetic type weapons, but what we really want to look at, there we go, the Brucus takes significantly less damage from kinetic type weapon projectiles, which is why we have the shell cracker over here. So Brucus can dig inside rocks without slowing down and close the passage behind them. In case of heavy damage, they begin to retreat, shooting cocoons with turrets in different directions. When they die, their shell opens, allowing others to gather the resources. And what resources, you may be wondering? Brucus always accompany Colubra and play a key role in the hive's economy. They constantly gather, process, and bring resources through the routes into the hive system. The mode of the resource transfer is unknown, and the lifespan is unknown. It's a very, very interesting one. If we want to find out what the Colubra are, it's this thing with some sort of energy shield and roots. It's a plant dragon. Armor 4, health 5,000, damage 8. Overall dimensions are unknown. The head with a likeness of a neck protrudes from the ground and reaches on average height of 55 meters. Head length is 18 meters. Head and neck width is 10 meters, and the head has a large developed jaw with teeth. The eyes and nose are missing. In front, there are large fused horns extending back. Skull contains a large developed brain. A node is attached to it that extends along the neck into the root system. The neck is reinforced with a rib-like structure and covered with armor. At the bottom, there is an arched, porous passage into the roots. Creature continues underground in the form of an extensive system of roots, as we can sort of see there. Like I said, it's some sort of plant dragon. Colubra spread underground for vast distances. Large underground connections of several individuals have been discovered, as well as roots that go deep underground into special structures. When breaking out of the earth, it also brings with it armies of other creatures to settle. First time upon digging out, it is capable of spawning ovum through its mouth. Oparius emerge from an arched porous passage to protect and perform basic work. Within a few minutes, the Colubra becomes armored and an energy dome appears above it with a translucent texture of complex biostructures. The nature of the dome is unknown. The dome is capable of instantly stopping large projectiles moving faster than 1 kilometer a second. When Colubra is severely damaged, the dome disappears, and for its own protection, Colubra can attack with a stream of light and waves, similar to a laser. This stream gradually becomes stronger, and its nature is unknown. So if we remain in its firing range, it's only going to become worse over time. It takes significantly less damage from kinetic-type weapon projectiles, which is kind of a pain because kinetic-type weapon projectiles are the ones that you're mostly going to be attacking it with. This is an idea of the map that we're going to be fighting through, so it's got some central kind of clear area. And from my experience on these maps, there's always a central kind of Colubra that we just saw, some Brucus, and then a couple of nests dotted around. The nests are listed there. I don't think we're going to really need anything other than the mechs that we've got right now, so for all intents and purposes, it's time for us to run the mission. Let's go ahead and have a look at our pilots. Let's take them out of training and the hospital, and then organize them based on their usefulness at this point. Now, if we have a look here, we've already started to build up some reputation there. We could take Jennifer out and start building reputation for her as well, and I don't see a reason not to do that, so we're going to need some new names. Are there other people that we're going to be bringing along? Let's have a look. I think we may actually be taking out a couple of new people, so give me just a moment to get some names together. Okay, there we go. I've gone through and I've renamed our pilots. We're going to take out an entirely new squad, as I feel that it's important for us to keep leveling up a lot of people, not just an A team, because there's going to become a time where we're going to be wanting to take out multiple people. But we've got Phoenix Talia, our squad leader here in the Shepherd. We are also going to be taking out Bicklow with the very low vitality and the very low CBS. They are not going to be in the Shellcracker. That is just an absolute no. Oh, they're eating right now. Okay, fine. Oh, no, they're doing sports. Got you. Right. We've got Sound Sphere down here. Low CBS, but otherwise quite good stats. You will be in Mr. Brown there. And finally, we've got Isham down here. Not the best stress, but reactions in the CBS are okay, so I think you might be better in the Shellcracker. But we definitely need to start getting people's skills up here. Oh, this is going to be a bit of a rough one if we don't. Other than that, though, we're not going to have to retool any of the mechs as such. We can go straight out into the fight, so let's get out there. Now, with this one, I would like Shepherd to prioritize taking out nests. So the ovum, I actually didn't cover that one too much either. So let me quickly go and have a look at that one for you. It does no damage. It's got 3,000 health. It has no armor whatsoever. So, residential lifestyle in one place, sometimes migrating with Colubra. Lifespan is unknown. If there is no foreign organism within 900 meters of one of the surface routes, ovum conserves energy and constantly adapts to the hive core's genome to the current environment. If the boundary is violated, ovum will start producing operarius and other creatures at a frequency set by the hive melody. Again, talking about the hive melody, I love it. During the active phase, the incubator heats up and the frequency of creating new creatures can reach 4 operarius per second. The ability to create special creatures depends on the program received from the Colubra. The program depends on the rotation in the algorithm. If ovum is in danger, he digs out of the ground, disconnects from the network of routes, and runs away. However, due to a lack of senses, they can run straight into an obstacle. Take significantly less damage from energy-type weapon projectiles. The low armor means that it's going to be fairly easy to take this out, and we want to take them out as quickly as we can because they're going to be producing the defenses. So we're going to give that job to Shepard with their long range. Of course, we're going to have Shellcracker going for the Brucus. No, you need to be over there, my dude. There we are. And then Mr. Pink and Mr. Brown are going to be on duty taking out the Operarius. There we go. Right, I think it's time for us to jump into a battle straight away. Right, let's have a look around the map, shall we? There we go. Now we've got the Brucus down here. We've got a nest. If you have a look for the root systems, you can very clearly see them. We've got Brucus there, Brucus there. We've got another nest there. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all of the nests. And then this is the Colubra right there. Okay, well, it's going to be a fairly easy fight for us. Now, initially, they're just going to open fire straight away, and there's not a lot I can do about that since they've got enemies directly in their sights. There we go, one down. At this point, I want to make my path up here, so let's have them move along a specific route. There we are. No enemy bases found. That's very good, because enemy bases are super bad news for us. We are not in any position to take on an enemy base. I'm not even sure what would be involved. Basically, like taking on a base in XCOM, you need a lot of staying power, and we just don't have it. There we go. There's some sort of labyrinthine structure, and you actually navigate it like a labyrinth, but everything in there is ultra terrifying, and if we see one, we're simply going to run away in the early game, and that is going to be my survival strategy. There we go. Let's just reach through here, taking out the nests as we go. I don't believe we really need to eliminate the nests, but we may as well while we're here. It makes the rest of the job a lot easier. We don't have to worry about being flanked by enemies. That being said, the nests that are far away are likely not going to bother us, so I will probably leave them alone, just because we don't need to spend any more time down here than we have to. There we go. Well done. Now we want to possibly dig through here. Oh, no, that one's activated. Okay, well, that's fine, because the approach on that side is probably the easier one. Alright, I want to take a fairly direct route over here. From there, we'll be able to attack the ovum. Every time that your mechs aren't engaging something for a little time, the game will automatically go up to 2 times speed. I cannot find any way of forcing that to happen, so I don't think that it's ever going to be something we have control over, though I think it would be quite nice to be able to decide, hey, this is going to be very long engagement, and it's like a war of attrition, and I know I'm going to win. I just want to pass some time while I do this a little bit faster. Let's make our way down here, because I think the moment I get near there, this is going to activate, so let's go and deal with this. What on earth was that sound? Really? Really? Did you get stuck? Ah, my lord. They're going off the rails a little bit. Calm down, you silly sausages. Get back together. Come on. That noise is them getting stuck in all of this. If we pause this for a second and actually zoom right in, this is actually a good opportunity for me to show something. If we look here, that little bar at the top is their stability. They were in like quicksand or particularly rough terrain. It was unstable, and so they basically lost all of their stability. They couldn't really move around very well, and it took a lot more time to pull themselves out of it, and now their stability is recovering. And that is definitely something that we want to care about. Are you able to hit it from over here? Oh, of course, yeah, the rockets have basically got infinite range. So, yeah, that doesn't surprise me too much. They were going for the Operarius, though, I think. They didn't have sight lines on the ovum, so if we can just get the group down here, they may actually even take this out by themselves. Yep, there they go. Just trying to wipe it out. That is amazing. I might even just watch what they can do from that distance. It's going to take them a while, but at the same time, no, they're actually going to take it out. You notice how the rockets are destroying the terrain as well, giving us an even easier time of targeting it. I mean, I don't need to wait this far back, because it is going to take a much longer time, because we've got that much less DPS on the ovum, but still, I think that's actually pretty cool. So let's make our way down there and just finish it off. Especially because the ballistic weapons will thin out the operarius, which were covering it as we were approaching. Now, this is the vision cone, if you will, of the, even though it doesn't have irons, this is the sensor area for this alien. If you are within that, it will start attacking. It'll power up its laser and then it will attack you. Avoid that, because again, whilst we've got energy shields, and so we'd be able to tank some of that damage to a certain degree. We really can't. Oh, there's a block right there. That's kind of annoying. All right, pull back just a second, and then we are going to scooch right in here. There we go. That should be okay. Wow, they are going a completely different way. They are full on just disobeying orders. We have not got a very good relationship here, sadly. And you're going to have to pull back again. Get back out of there. At least you do listen to orders relatively quickly. But let's try and get back there. Now, there we go. But yeah, the fact that this mounts up its damage over time, that is very, very worrying. You can absolutely go within the shield. That is not an issue. Wait. What was happening there? Were we just taking some damage? Were you shooting? No, you shouldn't have been shooting anyone in the back. You won't fire if that's the possibility. But at the same time, I dislike those sounds I was hearing. If you just double click, they will auto complete their mission. And on most missions, it is getting to point B, which is underneath the well, I'm going to call it the plant dragon because I keep forgetting what its actual name is. I guess I can look it up now. We came out of that with 285, which I think covered the cost of going in there. We definitely came out with enough Bjorn to cover the cost of going in there. But I want to see how much you were disobeying your orders. Okay, Phoenix did disobey orders from base for 6 seconds. But that paled in comparison to everyone else who's disobeying. Everyone else was about twice as bad at following Phoenix's orders. But you noticed a little bit of experience there. Quite a few of them got up to level 2, which is great. Soundsphere got from level 0 to level 1. Very, very good. Okay, I'm actually kind of happy with that. But let me just double check the name of the plant dragon, even though I'm honestly calling it a plant dragon is kind of funny. Let's find you. Where are you? Calubra. There we go. So yeah, the dome of the Calubra, you can absolutely go inside there. That isn't some sort of AoE on the ground, and that is exactly what I thought it was the first couple of times, until at one point I was kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, and I was just, oh, I may as well just tank the damage and get this killed as fast as I can, and I ran into the what I thought was the AoE, and it did nothing. So it was like, oh, okay, bearing that in mind for the future, it isn't actually dangerous. And I think what I was imagining was that was the perfect kind of sensing range, and if you went within that energy shield, it would immediately spot you. But one thing to note, rockets won't fire on it. They won't fire through the shield, but the second you're inside it, they will open up. So that is also another way of getting that done nice and fast. Are we going to give out any medals? Again, I don't rate the medal system in this, but you know what, sure, we'll give you a medal because I feel bad not doing it. There you go, you get a medal. Did anyone else perform particularly well? Does this tell me how many things they killed, number of attacks evaded, precision of kinetic weapons, amount of ammo spent, number of temperature added? No, there's nothing really in here telling me how many things they killed, so I can't give out medals based on that. And honestly, considering how disobedient you all were, you're lucky I even gave out one, frankly. My lord, we need to work on the teams so badly. Let's get everyone back in here. But now at this point we can see their overall relations. Actually, this is, I'm not gonna lie, their relationships with their commanding officer are better than the first group. with Mini Murgle. Mini Murgle, I don't know what you were saying to everyone else, but they were not getting on with you, whereas in here, Isham, Bicklow, and Soundsphere, they seem to have a modicum of respect for Phoenix. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Let's have a look at how people care about Isham. Yeah, honestly, this group bonded a lot better than the first group. I love to see it. But we still need people's vitality to go up a lot. We're going to pop you in there. Bob is going to go in as well. Vitality and stress relief is going to be a good one to get you going. And then finally, CBS test. Soundsphere, we need to work on this. So, you're doing something. I don't know what it was, but there we are. Let's get you in there. Okay, so hospital and training was the third item on our list of things to do after we ran a mission. And finally, research and production. We've got 233 engineers. Now, what I would very much like to do, because unfortunately we can't move the walking city over here. We have to go through one of these caves. Neither one was particularly attractive because they both had Ares at the time. Ooh, we've actually unlocked a little bit more information here. We know, as a matter of fact, that this tile here, this one can't have a nest on it. We know it can't because it's bordering this tile, and this tile can't see a nest within the 9 tiles it's centered on. This one can see a nest within the 9 tiles it's centered on, so it's somewhere up there. We're not certain about any nest position, so we're not going to mark anything down, but there's definitely some stuff over here. And this one, it's only got 4 tiles where a nest could possibly be, so until we've eliminated one of them, we're not going to nail them down. But we're going to continue playing the nest minesweeper game over time. But we're going to need to go through one or t'other of these caves, and I suspect this is the cave that we're going to be going through. I fancy. We can hit this city now, that being said. We can hit both of these cities. We don't actually need to walk out to them. Though that city would have been okay to go to right now, but the temperature's a little bit higher. That being said, though, we know that I'm going to want to hit one of the caves at least, just to move the city off this tile. So let's go ahead and engineer a mech for that job. And looking at the maps here, I don't believe the maps regenerate. Both maps are absolutely brutal. Disapprove of them. We're not going to be wanting to take out Shellcracker. Shellcracker needs more room to operate because it's got a minimum firing distance. So I'm thinking we're going to want a different type of kinetic weapon suitable for caves. And also, caves are particularly squirrely. Having a mech that's going to be able to drill through walls and make its own path is going to be very useful for us. So, before we use up all of our engineers, we're going to develop a new mech. Now, the goal of this mech is honestly going to be more excavation than anything else. It's going to be its true function as a miner mech, but let's call it something drill rig. No, we'll call it dig rig because it rhymes. Can I put spaces in this? I can. There we go. Dig rig. Now, one of the comments, Birdie8672 asked, how bright can the paint get when decorating a mech? The answer to that question is yes. Specifically, they wanted to know if you could get nuclear green. Sure. Okay, let's pop green all the way up. This is, oh my god, my ears. Why did I do that to myself? We then want a giant brush. How glorious. There you go. There is your nuclear green mech. We're not going to keep this color, but I wanted to answer the question for you. There are actually lots of other ways that you can do this. You can remove all of the paint with the right mouse button. Let's take this down to a reasonable size, shall we? Something like this. I believe if you hold down control, you can just paint parts of the mech. So, like, for example, the surfaces. There we go. And this effectively respects shadows. You can make a darker color for certain parts. Well, since I've started, I'm going to finish. Give me a few moments. Okay, there we go. I think that looks perfect. Right, let's save that in place. We've gone for more of a, like a, I guess, construction vehicle, like a cat vehicle, though I know that's a brand, JCB and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I kind of went more with a industrial machinery vibe there. Hopefully that is to your liking. Now, the first thing we're going to be doing is we need to hook this up with all of the various gubbins. So let's get the motors in. Orcs. I would say, since this is going to be a melee rig, in effect, since it's going to have a drill on it, we are also going to be giving it a weapon, of course, but the evasion modules might actually start mattering a little bit. So I'm going to put 2 of these on, and then regular ammo besides. So the evasion modules will give us 25 evasion rating, so it's giving us some extra, a 50% if it stacks evasion rating, plus 50% stability regen. As we covered with going through the kind of slow areas, stability will radically slow down your mech, and they also generate that from just being hit. Also, having high stability means they will resist the knockback from their weapons, that kind of thing, along those lines. But if this mech does get kind of cornered as it's drilling through a wall, then I want it to be able to stand firm while it's just beating back the Operarius with its drill arm. And on that note, the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to add a drill arm, so that I am not tempted to think that we've got more weight than we actually have. Now, as far as the weapons, do we have a ballistic? We do. We've got the shard here, but I don't think we're going to want that. I think we want something a little bit more custom. Since this is going to be a very close quarters rig, I'm going to pull down its firing distance to maybe even less than 500. Let's go all the way down to about here, maybe. This is extreme close quarters. It is not really going to be brought out very often. This is specifically for caves and other such areas, and I am thinking this is going to be a perfect area for us to use this. This creates many shots, there's less rate of fire and accuracy. We don't care about accuracy if we're in close quarters, and it will add weight. So let's pop that on. Now we have turned our chain gun into more of a shotgun, and I am very much okay with this. Let's pull down all of the points as usual, pump all of that into penetration and general damage. And I think we might even pull it back even further, frankly. Let's pull it all the way back to, well, that's about 250, I would say. This is about 300, so sure, we'll put it out to about 300 there. The reason I can tell it's 300 is it's midway between 0 and 600 here, so up to 300, let's say. Maybe we could even push it all the way, I don't know. 500 seems a little bit far, but considering... Maybe that is an actually okay distance for this particular weapon. It feels weird having a 500 range on a ballistic weapon like this, but that should be okay. Now, if we drop the armor to the maximum of the sort of things we're going to be facing, this will go through. So we'll be able to cut through several Operarius. I believe they have health of 13. We won't kill them with a single shot, but that's okay. The rest of this we're going to put all into fire rate so that we can fire off the shotgun blast very, very quickly. It's in a nice wide spread, so we should be able to clear swaths of enemies that are pushing their way through. Now, this is quite a heavy weapon, so we may actually want to pull this down a little bit if we want to equip a decent amount of armor on this mech. And since it's going to be kind of a melee mech, that might be a wise thing to do. Now, we're going to go with the normal piston injector combo. This is going to be more for, well, we're going to be operating in environments where the temperature is above -30, so having external resistance is the better one for us there. There we are. Let's pop that in. That's all we need to do. We already know that is going to work out okay for us. Let's grab our new reactor, pop you in there, and then pop in our new weapon. Now, this gives us extremely minimal armor, and that is not something I'm okay with. Let's see how much weight we're going to need, and if we can possibly get to that weight by just overcharging some of our motors. We could have this. That gives us 5 passive armor. That's just enough to deal with an Operarius. But if we then went to the strike faces, what could we do then? We could push this up. I could get another bit of oomph out of the motors for this. Let's go all the way up to this. This gives us 11 passive armor. That's double the amount of damage Operarius are going to do to us, but we need 2 extra points. So we're going to come in here, we're going to turn on wires. Again, as I've mentioned, doesn't matter whether you're undervolting or overvolting, adding wires to your reactor is going to make it cool less well. So, but let's go ahead and hook up some wires to the motors. So there we go. Notice the basic heat is increasing. There we are. And we can now field this for 104 engineers. Okay, I'm good with that. Let's pop you out there and go. So, tonk. There we are. Not a terrible idea. We've already done that job now for tomorrow, which means I now know how many engineers I have left, and which is the reason why I wanted to do that. I am going to, for the first couple of days, every day when I've got spare engineers, I'm going to put at least one order for components to be put into the queue. So there we go. I'm not going to put 2 because that would use up all of our engineers, and in total then we would have a whopping 240 engineers tied up for the next couple of days. That is a little bit more than I would like. I want some spare for repairs, but that is everything that we need to do for today. So let's go ahead and pass the day on to the next one. Yep. Everything is looking good. We have now unlocked the tank cannon. That is going to be a pretty awesome weapon for us. We already know where we're going to be trying to go, so that's fine. We don't have enough components to do any kind of upgrade over here. We can just remove that by just sliding that one up there. The science team got 80 people back, which is actually quite nice. Ah, the one thing I forgot. Did I put anyone into... Oh, thank goodness. There was a moment that I forgot, that I wasn't sure if I'd done it. But of course we did it as number 3, and that's why we do it as number 3, because this would happen otherwise. I will always worry about that, because that is the thing that I have forgotten the most. Right, so let's have a look at our missions and see if we can get through today nice and fast. We have got a path down here. Have we got a path over there? We've got a path in either direction. Moving out in either direction would be quite nice, but since if I move up there, I don't uncover any new information, and if I move down here, I do. Let's go for this one. Okay, so we've got the operarius there. It's not going to be the best place for us to go, but that's okay. We've already tuned our mechs, but there is now a new weapon, and I would very, very much like our commander's mech, the Shepherd, to have that new gun. So let's go ahead and have a quick look at it. Now, this is a very heavy weapon as it stands. Currently, the Shepherd is fielding with a weapon that is 22. This weapon is already heavier than that at base, and that is with some investment in a lower weight. But this weapon is absolutely godly. It's already got massive amounts of damage and penetration without anything else added onto it. Costs the same as a regular 20mm chain gun, but obviously this fires a lot slower. Now, what are we going to want to do with this is a question. Now, the thing is, with this nice high penetration, if we put something like shards on this, then immediately the first thing it hits, it will split into shards. So you lose some of the benefit of this weapon straight away, which is not really where we want to be going. We could put on critical, but I don't think that's necessarily what we want. Honestly, I think I want this to be as the current Shepherd's weapon. That is a long-range sniper. So rocket assist, maybe critical. Let's have a look. This increases damage, less penetration, adds weight. Let's actually set this up for what we're testing for. So this weapon in particular, let's pile on the accuracy just to make sure that it always hits its target right now. If we pop this in there, 80 damage, 6 penetration, not amazing. It is definitely bleeding a lot of its ability, and by the time it gets there, some of these shells are still bouncing off. Not great for us. We could go with accelerated. It would have more energy drain, but has enormous the damage actually goes down, but it has enormous initial velocity, so you're not going to bleed off enough of its penetration, like ever. We're not seeing any of these bounce. The other one, of course, is the rocket assist, which is what we've currently got. That gives us an amazing armor penetration. Even if this slows down, it's not really going to matter, because with penetration like that, it's fine. It's going to get through there. Now, if we want to fit this on the Shepherd as is, we need to match the current weight, which, again, just to remind ourselves, is 22. So, unfortunately, this one time, we're going to do that. We're going to pull this weight all the way down to below 22. So, we're going to have a little bit of extra headroom. This is not really what I would like this to be, sadly. We are then going to invest... We could put a lot into its damage, but... I think I would like this to be a little bit more accurate, honestly. So let's put at least some of this into its accuracy. There we go. Against a moving target, it is relatively accurate. Let's stop that where it is. It's mostly getting these shots where they're meant to be. I'm going to say that this does not want to engage at, well, actually, you might be able to engage at infinite range, to be perfectly honest. Increased lifetime, projectile acceleration is moving quite fast. This might be okay at being able to fire across vast distances, and with that kind of armor penetration and damage, it may well be able to handle it. I would love to be able to pull this weight down, but we're going to have to wait for stronger motors before we can do that. But this, as it stands, is a good enough commander weapon for me. So let's go back into the Shepherd, let's strip out its old weapon, and let's give it the new cannon. That leaves us with 2. In fact, I could perhaps overload the reactor a little bit. Now, if we do that, we are going to be pulling down the reactor's ability to handle the temperatures that we're sending it out to. So let's push the temperature up to about 0 degrees right there. And now this is the testing range for your mech. If we fire the weapon, right now we're cooling down, that's fine. And if we just fire this weapon, that's all right. It's not cooling down very quickly, but this is an incredibly ammo-efficient weapon. As you can see, the ammo indicator basically hasn't dropped yet. We can fire this weapon for a long time without needing to reload, which means that we have a long time to cool the mech down before needing to reload. That's actually very, very nice. So what we can do here is we can afford to perhaps overload all of the motors. Let's push that a little bit harder. This actually puts it well above its current ability. Could I undervolt? No, we don't have enough headroom on the motor right now to be able to do that. So we might be able to get away with 1? No, we can't even overload 1. Ouch. Okay, well, we could perhaps get rid of the energy shield. Do we strictly need that on the commander? No, it's not our tank, and we're going to start finding ourselves kind of veering into different directions. I think maybe in this case, sure, we're going to turn off the energy shield just so that we can push as much energy through the engine, through into the motors here, give us a good bit more weight, and that way we can improve the weapon. Let's have a look at what we can do at 0 degrees now. Is it cooling down? It's cooling down fine, actually. Yeah, this is cooling down plenty fine for us. Okay, let's get into this a little bit further. Can we afford to push this some more? I know I'm getting greedy. There we go. Let's push this all the way up to 180 kilos that this can sustain. But our basic heat has gone up quite a lot now, so let's go back into the testing grounds and see what we can do. Again, at the low temps that we're dealing with, and 0 degrees is a low temp as far as things are concerned, I'm not too worried about it. So let's see what we can do now with the cannon. We've got an extra, how much weight? We've got an extra 10 kilos to play with. So let's bring this up to about 31. 30 is good enough. And at this stage, we could go for more accuracy, or we could just dump all of that into damage. Up to 50 damage now across, with armor penetration of 39. That is quite nice. How much weight would I need to be able to push this all the way out? Way too much. How much weight am I able to get off the mech? Currently, we can only triple line the motors, so I can only get an extra 4 kilos. Okay. So we can push this up to 34 then. Let's go all the way down. That will do right there. And, well, actually, it was a little bit more than that. Let's pop this into... We could put a little bit into firing rate, but honestly, I don't think we need to. I think I would prefer this to just be extremely accurate at this distance. That will be perfect. Right, let's pop that back down. Go back across to the mech. And this is where we're really getting into the meat and guts of the tuning. The back and forth, just making a small adjustment, making sure that that is actually going to work for us. And let's pop the energy down here. 1, 2. We only actually need to go for 3 because that's all we're going to be pushing it to. We don't want to push the heat from this reactor up too much if we don't need to. Even up above 0 degrees, we're fine. If we are at 0 degrees, that's absolutely fine. And the ammo efficiency on this weapon is beautiful. So I think this is our commander sniper weapon now. That is wonderful. Okay, I'm going to send that out. It's only cost us 8 engineers to get that done. Let's put them out there. All right. Have we got time for one more mission? Not really, but we're going to do it anyway. Let's go. We're going to be heading down. How are our pilots doing? Let's pull them off there for now and actually get them doled out. So, who are we going to take out? I think with this particular weapon, I really want Mini Murgle on this one. Mini Miracle is going to be the most accurate. Sorry, Phoenix, but it's true. You need a little bit more time in training. Next up, we could continue working on the overall relationship based on this. And I think that might be a good idea. So let's bring out... Yeah, Synthetic Samurai. You're coming along. What's your stats? Yeah, you're actually fairly good. We'll bring you in Mr. Pink. We're not taking out Shellcracker this time. That would not be... Wow, Bicklow -5. Wow, Bicklow. Why do you not get on so well? Let's see. Rotary. We'll pop you into Mr. Brown. You're still a little bit wired there, but that's okay. Then... let's see. Who is going to be the best to run the dig rig? CBS, honestly, Soundsphere might be the better person. Don't need a lot of accuracy with a close-range mech like that. So, sure, Soundsphere, you're going to be coming out for this one. There we are. We could, honestly, field a 5th person, but let's see how much this would cost us right now. Taking out more than 4 people is perfectly viable. It's just the cost of fielding them early game is a bit painful. Right, we would want to have the commander taking on that. No one is specifically going to be taking on the Brucus with this one, which is a bit of a pain. Yeah, no one in particular is going to be taking on the Brucus, so I guess one of you two can grab that job. And you two in there. This is already going to cost us 115. Well, I mean, we could definitely push this a little bit further. So, yeah, 115, 147. We definitely brought enough back last time. But the reason we're not going to take out Shellcracker is because this is just not the right environment for Shellcracker. I'm sure I could make it work, but that is an expensive mech to bring out for maybe I could make it work. Let's just go with this group as it is and see what we can do. Alright then, the first thing we're going to do, as ever, press Tab to turn on WASD camera, press T to go into full screen mode, and then marvel at the nothing that you can see. However, this is where I was commenting on the previous episode that the different camera modes really come into their own, is in the tunnels. This was actually quite nice in a lighter environment if you care about the walls, like a well-lit cavern or just a canyon or something like that. However, the one I really find useful is this one, the more purpley background. It really highlights everything. Right, now then, I believe we had 5 nests and 4 Brucus in this mission. We've got 1, 2, 3 nests there, 4... Is that a 5th one right there? Can't actually tell. Let's have a look. Is there any better way for me to see? No, there is not. Very well. There's 1 Brucus there, 1 Brucus there, 1 Brucus here, and I think that might be all of the Brucus. Actually, no, there's another Brucus right there trying to scurry away. Oh, the little scallywag that it is. Okay, well, let's start making our way forward then. Get in there as quickly as you can. Do as much damage as you're able close up. You've got enough firepower. You might be able to do it. No, it is getting away. Keep up the firepower. You do not have long to do it. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Right, sorry for rushing that one, but we did not have a great deal of time to do it. Now then, what I would really like to understand is how the dig rig is going to operate. So we're going to come out of the full screen mode, and I'm going to specifically select the dig rig. Now, I believe, if I'm not horribly mistaken, that the way this works, the way the digging works, is in pause mode. As I mentioned in the first episode, you can just give individual orders, as you can in real-time mode, but in pause mode, you can give them a path. And I want the path of the dig rig to go through this rock. Let's just have a watch of how that goes. Oh, my lord, it is that simple. And, oh my good God, it is fast, too. I am very, very happy with this, I must confess. Oh, yes. Alright, so dig rig, you're going to be carving us a path. We could even carve a path down there. That was crazy fast. I guess it is on 2x speed, though. Might not be as great. Still, that is amazing. It will allow us to clear out some of these... Oh, God, that is a nasty, nasty area for us to try and get through. And no mistake. We're going to have to do a couple of things here. But let's bring the group down here. Let's get into position. We're going to... Oh, one of the things that you just saw there is eruptions of enemies from the ground. And that will happen from time to time. It is not something that we want to see a lot of, but it will, unfortunately, occur. That's what they're shooting up there at. They can see a little bit popping out. So we really don't want to spend more time in a cavern than we absolutely need to. Right, I'm going to specifically only have the dig rig active. And I would like the dig rig to carve a path through here and clear out this space. The others are then going to protect the dig rig while they work. And you can give, even though the order timer has, the moment you give an order in pause mode, the order timer resets and it looks like you can't give orders because like if you notice the crosshair expands out and then slowly zooms in when you can give a new order. As long as you're in pause mode, you can still give orders. The second you take it off pause, no more orders can be given. So you can give people individual orders if you want to. There you go, dig rig, you get through there. Clear up this route for us, please and thank you, while everyone else keeps you safe. Dig rig will stop what they're doing in order to attack the enemies, because they do give priority to close-up enemies. Let's get everyone down here now. We've got a bit of a better position to attack from, but these operarius are just going to keep coming. They're never going to stop, and that is a problem. We'll clear out this group here. Honestly, the dig rig is a big help right now. That shotgun ability is amazing for clearing them. There we are. Let's just get that all opened up. There we go. We've got a little bit of time, and I think what we really need to do is we either need to dig rig down through here or around. We could honestly just go straight for the payday. Straight in there, get in, destroy the enemy. Dig rig might be able to do that for us, and then we could just clear up going this way, and we would have so much more of a better choice, better opportunity there. Because this is hell. This is just hell waiting for us. If we had rockets, and I would probably just try and have them force fire. You can't. I don't believe you can tell them to force fire on terrain, which is a sad reality. But the other thing we could do is just have the dig rig slowly make this area clear while we stand by, and maybe that is a good use of the dig rig's digging ability. You know what? Sure, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to clear all of this up right around here, all the way up, and then get back there. I know that's a hell of a route that I'm giving you. Look at that drill going. It's ready to go. I approve. Everyone else is going to line up here and get ready to attack. Everyone else needs to be backing up the dig rig right now. Wherever the dig rig goes, everyone else needs to engage. The dig rig should be able to fight off the operarius for a lot of the time, but I want this firepower as backup whilst they're working. Don't leave them alone. Look at them go, though. They're clearing out an area for us to engage the enemy, and this is absolutely what we wanted this mech for. Did you just take damage, though? A little bit of armor damage, that's okay. That is okay, and it's going to happen. But let's bring everyone else down here. Let's get them a little bit closer so they can properly cover you. There we go. That is nice. How is everything else going? We've got a Brucus coming through. Not something I really want to deal with, but that's okay. There we are. Got rid of it. Dig rig is doing an amazing job. It's slow going, but, you know, slow and steady wins the race. And effectively, we've got more mortars going on there. Effectively, we have infinite ammo, so we've got infinite time, as long as we don't keep taking damage like that. That is an unfortunate bit of damage, and I don't want to see more of that, please and thank you. Dig rig, could you do me a favor and clear out this spot so that we can easily take on that Brucus? That would be great if you would. There we go, get in there, just drill through the everything. The Brucus will probably, well, honestly, might get melted with the drill, frankly. Since it's not attacking back, it's trying to run away, and it may decide that it is time to completely bail. I don't know. We will see. I don't know if we did enough damage to it to scare it yet, so that's okay. We should be alright for now. Okay, well, that opportunity to take out the Brucus is gone. So, dig rig, time for you to come down here, clear out this spot. This is why we made a not melee mech, I guess. Let's get everyone else in position to back them up as they drill, and remove the operarius as they come through. Once we're through here, we're going to have a much clearer path to attack, and we should be able to start... Ooh, actually, that's not nice. They're coming around on this side. Let's get You in position. We'll move in. I think this is Mr. Brown. No, it was Mr. Pink. There we go. Move Mr. Pink into position to help out there. There we are. Got a bit of better sight line there. But they are going to need to rearm very soon, and I dislike that. Dig Rig, though, is great at melee, so it's actually holding its own against the Operaris when it gets really close, and that shotgun weapon is doing a fine job. There we are, we're getting a reload without both of them needing a reload, which is actually what I wanted to see. There we go. Can we do enough damage? No, it's still getting away, but this is okay. Dealing with the Operaris that just landed behind us, but we're almost at a point now where we can push down to 3 of the nests, and this is going to massively reduce the pressure on us. So let's get our main group forward, and then of course Dig Rig to clear up a little bit more of the way down here. Let's just open this area up for ourselves, and also around here. There we go. That is not an optimal path at all. Don't think that I don't know that, but it's a fun path. There we go. There we go. The rule of cool on this one. This should also give us a lot of sightlines on the Operaris as they're coming through, and eventually on the nest as well. But we're not going to be controlling Dig Rig for a little bit. I want everyone else to be controlled for now. You just keep Dig Rig okay for the time being, please, and thank you. Dig Rig's stability is going down through all of this. Oh my lord. I think it could see us, and I only just noticed that because this camera mode is making it very visible when things are being destroyed. It was burrow. Oh, could we use that to our advantage? We could possibly do it. I think the Brucus down here is bailing. It just never dropped its turrets, which does kind of suck, but oh well. It is what it is, I'm afraid. We did a little bit too much damage to it overall. Right, let's get everyone else down here. From this position, you may be able to start just wiping out the nest while Dig Rig clears a little bit more of the path. In fact, just move in. Move in. We should be able to finish this job at this point, I think. Yeah, there we go. Dig Rig, you're back with us. Yeah, we lost one of the Brucus. I'm a little bit sad about that, but not terribly sad. This is a rough map for us to navigate. It's a dangerous map for us to navigate, so I'm okay with doing the slow and steady approach as we're doing it right now. There we go, another Brucus down. Let's get out of the way of the potential sight zone of that laser. Ooh, everyone is really close. This is not the best place. Though, that being said, we do have a melee mech with us, so it's actually not terrible. And having the Dig Rig carve the path there, that was super useful. Got a couple of enemies behind us, but everyone else should be moving up, or at least I would like them to. Let's pull back, because it just spotted us, and I didn't like that at all. We could, though, honestly let it burrow through for us. Might not be a terrible move to make. Still, I think we're going to continue with the slow and steady. We're going to just let this move past, then we're going to just get through there as quickly as we can. We're going to need a reload, though, soon, so I might want to wait for that to happen before we do that. Even the Dig Rig is going to need a reload soon. Right, let's... have we just removed a part of that rock from... Oh, actually, I think we did. I think the tank cannon is actually wiping out the rocks when it hits them, which is actually very, very nice to see. Very nice indeed. Yeah, we're going to need to push forward in a moment. Just as soon as that reload is done, we are now a lot safer. Let us start pushing forward. There we go. Drive through. We just need to get around here, I would say. That should be good. Let's push on up. There we are. Keep going through them. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We're not going to be able to get away from this, are we? Maybe if we just duck back as far as we can down here, we might be safe. We are not safe. Okay, that is ultra bad. Can we get over here quickly? The energy shields were helping us there, and getting back behind that rock face absolutely just saved us, because it cut line of sight. If we didn't have the energy shields, this would that would have been someone would have taken critical damage, I should imagine. Can we have Dig Rig dig up through here? We might be able to clear out a bit of a faster path for us to get through in the future. If we could get everyone over here, then we might be able to take out this nest and reduce the amount of firepower coming our way. That is something I very much want to see happen right now. Okay, start to move. Get away from the laser beam for now. Keep drawing back. Keep drawing back. Ooh, yeah, we took a little bit of damage there. 2 points of damage on Mr. Pink. Those were on. That was actual hull damage there. But we managed to get out of the range of the laser. No, we didn't. The laser can still see us. Let's get back a little bit further then. We've almost finished this, I think. Oh, no, it can still see us. My God. Okay, pull back, pull back. Keep pulling back. There. No, can it still see me? How could it still see me after last time it gave up at this point? But okay, if it wants to keep looking, I'm willing to let it keep trying. But it has opened up a little hole for us over here that we might be able to dig through. Or, honestly, just let it keep doing it. This is a tricky one. Let's get everyone over here now. And then I'm going to have Debrief try and clear this area out. We may be able to have the Shepherd just destroy this with extreme long-range firepower. Where are you right now? You're a little bit further up. Debrief, need to do the fastest drilling you have ever drilled. Go ahead. Just get that cleared out, because it is about to get angry with us. Okay, it is time for us to not be here. Move, move, move. Everyone, that includes you, Debrief. Oh, your stability is low. It's fine. It's recovered now, so we're okay. Right, let's just get all the way back, clear out the enemy. We've created a means of attack. I'm gonna deal with the artillery, or rather the bugs that just emerged. Feels like Rimworld. Then we're gonna get into here and we're gonna have Shepherd just long range the Columbra down. This has been a slow mission, but considering our fairly early stage in the tech game, I'm not unhappy with how we've been managing this, frankly. Right, you go ahead, just do as much damage as you can up there. Oh no, Shepherd isn't going for the Columbra. Okay, draw back. Get away from the laser. Actually, let the laser attack the walls. I guess it doesn't matter. It's always clearing a bit of a better route for us, I suppose. Gonna let it go back past once more. Honestly, we could just push in. Might be worth it. The problem is Shepherd is going to prioritize attacking the nests over the Columbra, which might not be the ideal solution. Oh, it is actually focusing on us, so let's draw back a little bit. Get away from that. Right, push up. Let's go. See what we can do. We might be able to just run rings around it. Honestly, we are pushing our luck, and eventually this is going to start getting really nasty for us if we keep up this war of attrition. So just run past the laser as you can. Keep trying to get past it. The other side, please. Go around. There we go. Keep going. Keep going. Keep firing on everything around. There we go. Okay. That is a point in favor of just be aggressive sometimes. I was being too cautious, I think. This was a particularly nasty one to get through. If it had been rotating the other way, it would have been far easier for us to handle this, but it is what it is. We managed to get, I think, 2, possibly 3 of the Brucus out of the 4 that were here. We'll see what we got. The repair costs are going to be non-negligible because of the amount of damage we did to Mr. Pink and Debrief, but this should, well, 650 might not cut it, we'll see. Alright, that was actually a difficult fight, and Sound Sphere, you're going to get a medal for running the Debrief for the first time. Let's have a look. Of course, Mini Murgle, loyal as ever, no time spent disobeying orders. 23 seconds, Synthetic Samurai, disobeying orders. I mean, that was a long mission, so 39, that was almost half a minute, that was over half a minute regenerate. Unacceptable. No medals for you. But you weren't going to get one anyway, so I guess that's fine. Right, okay, let's see how that went. 173. Actually, not terrible. Not bad at all. That was a long mission, though, and I do apologize for drawing things out. But it was cool learning how to use the mining abilities. I'm going to send all of our... I think it was Mr. Pink as well that needed proper repairs. But let's go back to the engineering department and have a look at these. Debrief, let's have a look at you. Now, this is the way you can repair specifically. The fast repair is fine if it's just a tiny bit of damage you need to work on, but here we can see what happened. The hull took some actual hefty damage over here. The way this works, let's actually have a look at Mr. Pink. It might be a better better option for us? No, neither one. So I'm going to pay this. This is only going to cost me 2. But if you expend some of your engineers, you can spread the damage out. This is not a good amount of damage to spread out. But I'll just, so I can show it to you. If on any of the armor plates you spread the damage out, it will about like half the cost to repair that armor plate, but it'll add like 22 to the hit points, repairing the hit points. So you can actually, if you've got like 600 or something like that, sure, use 12 engineers to send like a paltry amount of damage to the actual hit points that you're going to need to repair, and half the cost of repairing the armor. But if you do that with hit points, it kind of goes everywhere. Oh, maybe it won't allow me to spread it out from this point. Like, it's so little damage, it doesn't count. Well, in that case, that's fine. But let's bring the dig rig over and see if I can showcase that one down here. It's a little bit more over here. Let's just click there. That actually completely fixed that and put a bunch over here. But now, if I click on that, it spreads it out to every other system. Not exactly the best thing to do. So, generally speaking, I only do it if the damage is to armor or systems around here. Never really use the engineer option if it's over there, in my opinion. That it's not a good return. But you notice how it doesn't cost any engineers to send them back out, which is why the fast repair is so nice, because, you know, if you're just repairing 2 bits of damage, this is a lot of clicks compared to just clicking 1 button. But I did want to showcase how those repairs can be done manually if you want to maximize your repairing potential and reduce the cost of metalite. We didn't really need to in this instance, but I think it was worthwhile just showcasing that. Now, hospital and training is the next up on our to-do list. So first and foremost, vitality. Bicklow's actually getting up there. Quite nice, quite nice. Synthetic Samurai is the next one that we need to work on. Joe probably does need a bit of it, though. Ooh, you're kind of in the same place, but Joe is going to get far more from restoring their stress. So I'm sorry, Synthetic Samurai, you're not going to go to the hospital right now. Next up, we want CBS and Soundsphere. Yeah, Soundsphere, we really do need you to work on that one. But you're getting there. It's slowly building up. Let's actually have a look at where we are with people's relationships with the Mini Murgle. Mini Murgle is very happy with themselves. Well done, Mini Murgle. Select that one. There we go. And have a look down here. Okay, Synthetic Samurai at 19. Rotary is up to 39 now. That's actually quite nice. Bob, minus... What have you and Bob done? Okay. I don't believe I've sent you out on a mission, so I'm not sure why your relationship is that bad. Maybe you got into a fisticuffs at the cafeteria or something. I don't know. But the final one that we want to go to is research and indeed production. So we have now unlocked a new part of the research tree. We currently have 85 science team members. We have 2 days left on this. I want 100 staff available in 2 days. So anything over here that takes 2 days, more than 2 days, we're probably not going to go for. These are fine. Rocket launch will give us the blueprint for 2 missile systems from the general military database. Homing does not work underwater. This would give us a much better missile system. And this will give us the ability for our bullets to work underwater. Adaptation of kinetic weapons for underwater combat. Minor changes to the launch method and the shape of the projectile will return the effectiveness of kinetic weapons underwater. Adds a new auxiliary module for mechs. We are absolutely going to take this one because I can already tell we are definitely going to need to go into the water at some point. And that's all of the scientists that we're going to be able to use. And now it comes down to production time. 2 days left on these. If we check out the calendar, Friday is when we get those back. We've got enough engineers. If I do this now, we are not fielding another mech, or at least I very much doubt. Well, actually, no, we did field a mech. Yeah, with the dig rig. No, we did that the day before, my bad. We might have enough engineers to field another mech, but I've not got any big plans for doing that, so I think instead we're going to get some more components to be made. We'll pop that down, and in 2 days' time, we're going to get a bulk load of components. And honestly, if every day after that for a couple of days we have a new delivery of components coming through, that wouldn't be a bad thing for us. We've still got 81 engineers, and I think that's okay. But that is going to be it for day 2, I do believe. Well, day 3, technically 2 days since we turned on. The first day was day 0. We are starting to get some useful graph information down here, which is actually quite nice. Engineer teams minus 92, because 92 engineers were used up. Actually, yeah, no, with the amount of engineers we've currently got, we will still have enough to deploy a mech, which is actually going to be quite nice. Alright, time for us to go to the next day and see how things go. Alright, we're actually starting to see some good stats coming in. Okay, so we actually made a profit on the all of the minerals, though metallite, the least of all, with just 3. City energy didn't really go anywhere. City is taking a little bit more damage. We generated 2 components. We generated some consumer goods. Food supply went down, but wounded humans also went down, which is nice to see. We want to get that number nice and low. Life systems not doing so grand because there are more humans out and about outside of like medical facilities doing more work, breathing more oxygen, needing more food, and so the ability for our life support systems to actually sustain that is going down. Overall efficiency pretty bad. So if we have a look through here in terms of our newest plans, like tomorrow we're going to get a big lump of good stuff, but right now I would say having a look at this, food supply and life support systems are by far the worst and should be the things that we start focusing on as soon as we have components to do it. But that is going to be it for today's episode. I really do hope you have enjoyed. I had a lot of fun playing around with the dig rig. That's actually the first time I've properly played around with really excavating an area, and what better place to do that than in a cave. But I guess one of the last things I could have done is move the city, but we'll keep that for the next episode. That was a little bit of an oversight of mine. I will add that onto my to-do list as another thing that we should always be checking for, moving our cities around. We actually know that has to be a nest, by the way, because this tile tells us that there can't be any nest there. This tile tells us there can't be any nest there. This tile is telling us there has to be a nest somewhere around here, and that's the only one that we can't confirm can't have a nest. So there we are. We've already found 2 of the alien nests as well, which is not a bad start. But that is going to be it from me, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as you enjoyed the first one. Do let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions, and I will do my best to answer them in the next episode. But until then, and as always, from me, the Shellcracker, Mr. Pink, Dig Rig, Shepherd, Mr. Brown, and all of the pilots who pilot them, do take care, engineers.